Hello, everybody. Michael from Spades Consulting. We are going to talk about, and I think this will be the end for this recording session. We're going to talk about how life is full of fucking mistakes. All right. Now, I think Gen Z gets this more than the older generations might, but it's a thing. Everybody has cringe moments. Everybody has, you try to go to sleep, and for whatever reason, all right. Whenever you're about to actually go to sleep, you try to close your eyes and, you're trying to get the process done and over with so you can wake up and go into your slavery tomorrow. No matter what, there's always this, and especially when you're younger, there's this constant reflection where you just remember a cringe moment from like 10, 20 years ago, and it fucking haunts you to death, to no end. All right, because you can't hit the undo button and you will remember your cringe moments crystal clear. The times when you were good, when you were decent, when you didn't make an ass of yourself. All right, those are easily forgotten, but when it comes to the embarrassing moments in life, the moments where you may have been a gigantic asshole or terrible or selfish or anything, you will remember those crystal clear. All right, because there's a certain amount of pain attached to that. Even in embarrassment, there's a certain amount of pain attached to that. You're not going to be perfect. All right, no matter how much people either would like to embody perfection or front the idea that they've achieved perfection, everybody's lives, you're gonna have a lot of L's. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. You're gonna fuck up sometimes. You're gonna look like a complete asshole sometimes. It happens. All right. That does not mean that you just curl up into a ball and cry about it. You don't fucking pull back. All right. Obviously, you try in the future, you try not to put yourself in a questionable position again, but it's the thing, you can't just retreat from life in its entirety because of a cringe moment. All right, that especially an old cringe moment that was like 10 fucking years ago. It's like it's done and over. All right. When it comes to getting through life, you just have to accept your L's. All right, as the younger ones say. All right, you just have to accept your losses and move on. All right. You try to be a better person. You try to not put yourself in a position of weakness or humiliation or whatever it would be. You try not to do that again. And you just try to get through life like everybody else because nobody fucking knows what the hell they're doing. Give me just a second. Okay. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Nobody has an actual solid plan anymore. Nobody's perfect. All right. You can spend your entire life remembering a cringe moment long after everyone else forgot about it. All right. You can torture yourself with it. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. A lot of things in life, you just have to get past them. All right. You just have to essentially forget they happened. Just relegate it to a dustbin in memory where it's just like, all right, don't ever do that again. But for the love of God, forget that it happened. All right, because sometimes life just sucks. All right, sometimes oh, even thinking about like the OnlyFans thoughts, you know, there were tons of girls like it was a common story that came up. Even Cartman's mom on South Park, where Cartman's mom used to be a raging hoe. All right. And she's forgotten most of that. All right. And most people do. And it's like if modern day, if a kid grows up and his mother turned out to be a porn star or a stripper back in the day, um, she might go to, I was young and I needed the money. And it's just like, honestly, she may have actually needed the money. The world is a rough fucking place. The world's a rough place. It's not easy on anybody. All right. And what makes it so much worse for people is you remember your own L's crystal clear, but you don't get to see the L's of some of these other people who prop themselves up as if they are perfect. All right. The reality is, no one is. All right. And in terms of like debauchery, a perfect example was, I think it was St. Bart's Island. Uh, the inhabitants mostly involving all the rich people who went to St. Bart's for New Year's celebrations, I believe. They got stuck there because of the action in Venezuela, and there was a gigantic, I forget if it was, no, it wasn't syphilis, it was chlamydia, a gigantic chlamydia outbreak. And it's just like one super spreader managed to just infect nearly every single ship and yacht and resort with fucking chlamydia. And it's just like, oh my god, this is what the perfect people, all right, the people who put themselves out there as if they're fucking saints, this is what they're really doing. Oh god, talk about spreading it around. Regardless, you learn from your fuck ups, you move past them, and you try not to repeat them ever again. No matter what, you're always going to have embarrassing moments. You're going to have moments where you fuck up. It it comes with existence. Human beings were we weren't meant for any of this. All right. We were meant to be picking our asses on the Sahara. All right. We were not meant to have technology and computers and online prawn and all of this other shit. We weren't meant for this. All right. The unfortunately, we got too smart for our own fucking good. And now we've essentially colonized the entire fucking planet, and there's no escaping the systems that humanity has produced for the most part. All right. Don't hate yourself for the past. Don't hate yourself for the past. Acknowledge your mistakes, but continue moving on and moving forward. You're gonna continue to fuck up and make mistakes. No matter how much you try not to, you're still gonna fuck up sometimes. All right? Sometimes you will be revered, sometimes you'll be hated. All right? But you just gotta keep moving. Such is life. With that, I will end it here. If you are interested in personal or business consulting, stop by www.spadesconsulting.com without the dash. And if you are interested in written content, stop by the Substack. It's linked in the description box and on the site. If you want to see more videos like this, we do have quite a backlog. By all means, go through them. But if you want to see more videos, like, favorite, share, subscribe, hype, all the TISM tasks, all the micro interactions, do them up, and I will see you next time. You have a good one.